on to the Rugby World Cup semi-finals and win an all-time Rugby World Cup classic. They sever the Irish winning run at 17.
A quarter-final showdown that did not disappoint. The All Blacks knocking out the world number ones Ireland 28-24 in Paris. We unpack all the drama from one of the great Rugby World Cup tests. Kia ora, I'm Cheree Kinnear and this is Beyond the Game. Welcome into the New Zealand Herald's Rugby World Cup video news show. I'm joined by News Talk ZB commentator Elliott Smith. We're outside Stade de France where the All Blacks have just about silenced an almost fully Irish crowd. This game certainly lived up to the hype, didn't it, Elliott?
It did. It was probably one of the greatest test matches I've seen in all honesty. Tit for tat, counter-punch, punch, counter-punch. It was dramatic right throughout. And it went right through to about the 82nd, 83rd minute. It lived up to the hype and more. Not often that games necessarily do that, but these two teams wanted it so much. The All Blacks end up on the right side of the ledger, but only just, and it could have gone the other way. An enthralling test match that will live long in my memory.
For sure, and for mine too. We have to start at the end though, as you said, those final few minutes, truly nail-biting stuff. The All Blacks defending 37 phases. How impressed were you by the All Blacks defence tonight?
Oh, incredibly so. I mean, they conceded 24 points and 3 tries in the end, but it all came down to that last passage of play, didn't it? And the amount of phases they were asked to defend. Ireland looking for a try. The penalty wasn't going to be good enough. Drop goal wasn't going to be good enough, courtesy of the Geordie Barrett penalty a few moments earlier. So Ireland was searching for a try. They made a couple of inroads into the All Blacks 22. Looked as though they might get a wee break here or there, but the All Blacks just kept turning up and making tackles and tackles and tackles. And in the end, they got, as you said, close to 40 in the end, and eventually Sam Whitelock makes the key turnover, gets the penalty for his team, and the rest is history. But that was as good a defensive stand as I've seen from any international rugby side in quite some time. It was very impressive from the All Blacks. And the kind of thing, Rugby World Cups are built on defence more so than attack, and that's the kind of thing they can really hang their hat on.
And they were up against it too. I mean, 2 yellow cards in this game as well. How well did they handle those situations?
They handled it very, very well. I mean, Aaron Smith went off and they conceded a try as a result of that. Cody Taylor brings down a maul, probably fair enough, both yellows to be fair. But they were resilient, I thought, the All Blacks. They took the losses on the chin and went back and regrouped well and got through to the next job and whatever it might have been. And I think that's something that the All Blacks can be quite proud of. They've talked a lot about not wanting to concede cards, but when you do, it's about how you react. And I think the All Blacks can be very, very proud of the 60 minutes that they had with 15 men, but also the 20 minutes where they were short-handed a bit and had to scramble. Very, very impressed.
You mentioned resilience there. I think that certainly is correct. They certainly were resilient. We heard from some of the All Blacks after the games. Let's take a quick look at some of what they had to say.
I'm immensely proud. Proud to be an All Black today. To defend like we did at the end. It was sort of probably the biggest lesson we took from July last year, to be honest. And all our work we put into it this year was to, if we played Ireland or France, is kind of that type of attack, able to square you up and then play out the back and get wide. It's really good and just a massive effort, a lot of emotion, and a lot of work's been put into this opportunity, and just beyond proud.
Love this team, country so much, and I know it's been tough 3 or 4 years. And we've still got games to play, but to put in a performance like that tonight and to beat a team that is probably the best team in the world right now, but we spoke about that the best team doesn't always win the World Cup. It's the best team on the day, and we were today, and just extremely proud of that.
Look, I had Riggs telling me get the hell up and pull my head in. But yeah, look, it was one of those ones that if they scored, it was over for us. The boys just kept defending and patient, disciplined, and Sammy Whitelock picked his moment and got that penalty. So, mate, it's just a testament to all the work that we've been putting in our defence, and paid off tonight.
Well, we have to give Ireland some credit tonight too. They definitely put out a performance that they should be proud of. It did feel like for me though sometimes there were moments where they were trying to make magic happen, they just couldn't quite execute. What did you make of their game?
I guess it happens when you're trying to chase a game, and they didn't lead all night, so they never had the advantage of playing from within front psychologically, which can be a boost whether you're leading by 1 point or 25 points or whatever it might be. That's a psychological boost you've got over the other team. So Ireland didn't have that tonight, but I was very impressed by them. And look, if they'd scored right at the end, it would have been equally deserved. I think they were very, very good again tonight, and it's a shame that almost this game came a week early rather than a semi-final. Two teams well worthy of being in the last couple of weeks of the Rugby World Cup. They don't get it. But Ireland can be proud. They won't think about that tonight. They'll be absolutely gutted. They can be proud of the 17 games they went unbeaten, world #1 ranking and everything that came with that. But tonight it'll really sting. But when they look back, and the farewell Johnny Sexton tonight, Keith Earls didn't play tonight, but he's leaving as well. They'll be proud, but it might take a while to realise that.
Now, a lot was said of the crowd heading into this game and the influence the Irish fans were going to make, but in amongst that sea of green there were pockets of passionate All Blacks fans, and we heard from a few of them after the game, as well as some disappointed Ireland supporters.
It's excellent, it's great, we're going to win the final anyway.
Come on, the boys!
We will play with the South Africa in the finals. It's worthwhile coming all the way from Auckland.
Unbelievable win. The most stressful 80 minutes of my whole life. But we're just crazy. We did it! Yeah. All Blacks! Thank you so much. Come on!
Mainly relief. That was intense. Probably the most intense game of rugby I've watched live.
Hasn't sunk in yet. Quite an unbelievable result, I think. But New Zealand, to their credit, were outstanding,
Yeah. Devastating is actually the right word. Yeah, I feel like we've got such a curse with the quarter-final. Like Ireland, Jesus. We never make it alive.
And I do think towards the end, I was like, look, they have it in them, it's there, but unfortunately not.
The Irish put up a wonderful fight, but I'm so relieved that we won.
Oh gosh, it's absolutely good, I don't believe it. I sold my house for this.
Do you know what, I'm so proud of them. And no matter if we lost, I am still so happy for them.
Ireland were playing some good attacking runs, but the All Blacks defence just overran them, and they just couldn't score in the end.
Unfortunately, the Irish fans are going home, but we are going to miss them.
Well, this entire past week, the All Blacks were labelled underdogs. And actually earlier in this tournament as well, Ian Foster said himself, they felt like they were the underdogs in this tournament. But after a game like this and heading into the semis, I don't think that label's going to stick.
I don't think so somehow. I think they used the phrase under the radar. Ian Foster was asked about that and basically suggested, that was me 3 or 4 weeks ago, not so much now. And with a performance like that, when you knock over the world #1s and a team on the rise, then everyone sits up and takes notice. Argentina next week, a lot of people saying it'll be an easier task than Ireland, but the All Blacks have lost twice to them in the last World Cup cycle, in between the last World Cup and now. So that'll be a difficult task, but for the All Blacks tonight, they're not going under the radar. That's a performance that people will sit up and take notice of for sure.
Yeah, big week ahead. Thank you so much for your time, Elliott. That's it from us for now, but we will be back at Stade de France next week as we look ahead to those semi-finals. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Beyond the Game. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. To stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald, click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here, and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.